Udilo aruna puraba bhage Dvija mani gora amani jage. Udilo varuna puraba bhage Dvija mani gora mani jage. Bhakat samuha loya sate Gela nagara braje. Tathai tathai bajaloko Gana gana tahe jajeraro. Preme jala jala sonaranga Charane nupura baje. Mukunda Madhava Yadava Hari Bole na bolo re vadana bori. Micheni dabashe gelore rati Divasa sharira saje. Emana dulaba manava deho Paya ki koro bhavana ke ho. Emena bajile Yashoda Suta Charame pori belaje. Udita tapana hoile asta Dinagelo beoli hoi bevyasta. Tabe ke no ebe alasa hoy nabajari daya raje. Jivana nitya jana hasar tahe nana vida vipada bhar. Namashraya kori jatane tume thakaha apana kaje. Jivera kalyana sadhana kam jagate yasiye madhuranam. Avidyate mera tapana rupe Vida gagane biraje. Krishna nam sudha koriya pran, jurao bhakti vinoda pran. Nama bina kichu nahi ko aro, chauda bhuvana maje. Jeev jago, Jeev jago, Gora Chandra bole. Kota nidra jao maya, Pisachi rakole. Baji boboliya ese samsara bitare. Bhuliya rohile tumi avidya rabare. Tomare loite ami hoinu avatara. Ami bina bandhu ar ke ache tomara. Enechi aushadi maya nasibaro lagi. Hari nama mahamantra lao tumi magi. Bhaktivedanta Prabhu charane pariya. Se Hari Nama mantra loilo magiya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jai Vishwapad Brahmhamsa Parijagacharya Sudarshata Shri Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Jai Vishwapad Brahmhamsa Parijagacharya Sudarshata Shri Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Shri Prabhupada ki. Grantaraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yes, so we are reading from Canto 9, Chapter 4, Text 64. Naham Atmanam Ashase Madbhakte Sadhubhir Vina Shriyam Chatyanti Kim Brahman Yesham Gatir Aham Para Naham Atmanam Ashase Madbhakte Sadhubhir Vina Shriyam Chatyanti Kim Brahman Yesham Gatir Aham Para. Naham Atmanam Ashase Madbhakte Sadhubhir Vina Shriyam Chatyantikim Brahman Yesham Gati. Matajis. Naham Atmanam Ashase Date Sadhuvir Vina Shriyam Chatyantikim Brahman Samate. Matajis, please. Word to word translation. Na, not. Aham, I. Atmanam, transcendental bliss. Ashase, desire. Mad bhakte, with my devotees. Sadhubhi, with the saintly persons. Vina, without them. Shriyam, all my six opulences. Cha, also. Atyantikim, the supreme. Brahman, O Brahmana. Yesham, of whom. Gati, destination. Aham, I am. Para, the ultimate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Swami Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Translation. O best of the Brahmanas, without saintly persons for whom I am the only destination, I do not desire to enjoy my transcendental bliss and my supreme opulences. It's a very nice translation. I'll read it again. O best of the Brahmanas, this is Krishna speaking. Without saintly persons for whom I am the only destination, basically without the devotees, Krishna is saying, I do not desire to enjoy my transcendental bliss and my supreme opulence. Krishna doesn't desire to enjoy his own opulence and his own transcendental bliss without the devotees. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is self-sufficient, but to enjoy his transcendental bliss, he requires the cooperation of his devotees. In Vrindavan, for example, although Lord Krishna is full in himself, he wants the cooperation of his devotees, like the cowherd boys and the gopis, to increase his transcendental bliss. Such pure devotees who can increase the pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are certainly most dear to him. Not only does the Supreme Personality of Godhead enjoy the company of his devotees, but because he is unlimited, he wants to increase his devotees unlimitedly. Thus, he descends to the material world to induce the non-devotees and rebellious living entities to return home back to Godhead. He requests them to surrender unto him because, unlimited as he is, he wants to increase his devotees unlimitedly. The Krishna consciousness movement is an attempt to increase the number of pure devotees of the Supreme Lord more and more. It is certain that a devotee who helps in this endeavor to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes indirectly a controller of the Supreme Lord. Although the Supreme Lord is full in six opulences, he does not feel transcendental bliss without his devotees. An example that may be cited in this regard is that if a very rich man does not have sons in a family, he does not feel happiness. Indeed, sometimes a rich man adopts a son to complete his happiness. The science of transcendental bliss is known to the pure devotee. Therefore, the pure devotee is always engaged in increasing the transcendental happiness of the Lord. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, this is a continuation of Krishna speaking to Durvasa Muni, and Durvasa Muni has gone to Krishna asking for forgiveness, and here Krishna is glorifying the association of his devotees and how much he appreciates the association of his devotees. And here he is saying something very nice, something very interesting, something very sweet. He is saying that even I have a lot of opulences, but I don't like to enjoy them without my devotees. So that's how much dear devotees are to Krishna. Just like many of us who have opulences, whatever opulences we may have, we don't like to enjoy them all ourselves. We like to enjoy them with our friends, with our family, with someone who is very close to us. But even if someone gives you $1 million, but if you have to keep it all to yourself and not enjoy with anyone else, it'll be pretty miserable. Actually, a lot of time, the surveys that are done on people who have won lotteries, and this surveys done on them that you just won so many millions of dollars. So how do you feel now? And a lot of time, the common response often has been is that I feel lonely. Because when you have so much money, it becomes very hard to actually understand who is your real friend. Because now everyone all of a sudden starts calling you. You know, I'm your friend and I'm a relative from that and that and that. All of a sudden everyone is a friend and everyone is a relative. Because you got the money. Just like here when temple got the grant, then everyone started calling. Telling that, okay, we can offer you this and we can offer you that, you know. So now how do you know who is actually for real? So, but it's natural tendency for all of us, and that is coming from Krishna, is that we want to enjoy but in the company of someone or people who are close to us. And so here Krishna is saying that without the devotees, then I don't desire to enjoy my transcendental bliss or my supreme opulences. So there's a nice conversation that I'm going to read out loud, and then I'm going to ask what was the conversation about. So, but it's a very nice conversation of Prabhupada on a morning walk in August 9, 1976 in Tehran. So Prabhupada is saying, the park, so Prabhupada is walking in the park, and he says, the park belongs to the government. So you can come, sit down here, you can enjoy. Why should we claim proprietorship though? Then there is trouble. Otherwise, it is kept very nicely. You can come, sit down, enjoy the atmosphere. Everyone has got the right. But why shall we claim proprietorship unnecessarily and create trouble? Yeah? Because you are allowed to sit down here, if you say, from now onwards, I am the proprietor. Then others will say, then I am the proprietor. Then why are you coming here? Then there is trouble. Yes? So the devotee says, they say that God has no need to enjoy Because here the point is, so far, is that everyone can come and everyone can enjoy the park. The facility is there, everyone can sit, everyone can enjoy. Problem comes when you say that this is my park and this is my bench. Then is a problem. So similarly, this world is there for everyone. You can enjoy, you can have a good time. But as soon as you say this is mine, then there is a problem. Because it is God's, this is Krishna's, and this is for Krishna's enjoyment. So that's the kind of like a thread that's going through in the conversation. So the devotee here, he says, but they say that God has no need to enjoy. Prabhupada said, beat him with shoes on his face. He has created, but he has no need to enjoy. Why has he created then? He is your father's servant, that he is created for you. He has created for his enjoyment. That is the tendency everywhere. I create something for my enjoyment. But I can allow others to enjoy also with me. That is another thing. How can you say that God has simply created for your enjoyment? What is this claim? Is there any practical example in this world that somebody creates something for others? Is there any example? Why do you claim in this way, which is unusual? What is the ground of your this rascal philosophy? Where from you get this idea that I create something for somebody else? I create for myself, for my enjoyment. I can allow you to enjoy with me, but that's another thing. So Prabhupada continues and he gives an example now. He says, a father creates family for his own enjoyment. Wife, children, he wants enjoyment. Society, family. So therefore he takes the risk of maintaining so many people. He feels some enjoyment and therefore he takes the risk. Otherwise he has no business. Why should he create unnecessary trouble to maintain a family, maintain wife, children, society? The principle is, if you create something, it is created for your personal enjoyment. I can allow my sons, my wife, my family members to enjoy with me, but the basic principle is for my enjoyment. That is natural. Where do you get this philosophy that God cannot enjoy? So the devotee says, yes, but he doesn't need to enjoy. Prabhupada says, why? Devotee says, they say because he is not like human being. Prabhupada says, because he is not like a human being, therefore he cannot enjoy. There are so many animals, they are not like human beings. Why they enjoy sex? Can you forbid him that you are not like human being, you cannot enjoy? These are all nonsense philosophy. Because they do not know what is God, what he is, what is his position, relationship, therefore these nonsense things are said. It's a very interesting point. Anyone remembers anything from what we just read? Prabhupada started with the park. What was the point there? Yes. As soon as you claim a proprietorship, then there's a trouble. Yes, okay. Very good, thank you. Then the devotee said that the God has no need to enjoy. What was Prabhupada's response? First he beat with the shoe on his face. That is the first answer. Then what is next? What was Prabhupada's point? And Prabhupada went elaborately explaining why has he created? For his own enjoyment. And then Prabhupada is saying, does anyone create in this world without a reason outside of his own enjoyment? No. Everyone creates something for their own enjoyment. So what is this rascal philosophy? Prabhupada said that he doesn't need to enjoy. If he's creating, means he wants to enjoy. And then he gives an example of family. Why would you take the trouble of maintaining the family if it was not for the personal enjoyment? Yes? And then they're saying, oh, but he's not like, he doesn't need to enjoy because he's not like the human being. Well, actually, not just human beings, everyone likes to enjoy. Because ultimately this tendency to enjoy is coming from Krishna, Lord Himself. So this desire to enjoy is coming from God, and therefore it's said in the Upanishads, Raso Vaisa, that Krishna is a reservoir of all the pleasure. He likes to enjoy. And that's why He has created this world. That's why He has created living entities. That's why He has created all the different energies so that He can enjoy. And therefore He is the reservoir of all the pleasure. This is the highest understanding of God. That a God who enjoys, who likes to enjoy. So there was a very famous philosopher, atheist philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche, and he was a complete atheist. He did not believe in God, and he's given a lot of explanations around it. But one thing he said, if I have to believe in God, they say I will only believe in a God who can dance. So we should have given him a Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, but I think our devotees were not there at that point, and Prabhupada hadn't come and written as it is. That was in the 19th century. So, but yes, that's his claim, because a lot of understanding in a lot of religions of God is that someone who cannot enjoy, someone who just sits in a big throne and who judges people, sends them to hell or heaven, and someone who is very serious, very grave. But then when we read Krishna's pastimes and stories, it's anything but serious and grave. Krishna likes to have fun. He likes to have enjoyment, and he likes to have all of that with his devotees. Right from the start of the day, all the gopas are there, his parents are there, gopis are there, and there's so many pastimes that are going on throughout Vrindavan. So he's definitely enjoying. But never alone. He's always enjoying with his devotees. So one time one artist, one devotee actually painted Krishna, and he showed it to Prabhupada. And there was Krishna, just the face of Krishna. And Prabhupada said, no, this is not right. He says, where are the devotees? He says, Krishna is never alone. So Krishna is always with his devotees, playing the flute, with the devotees, playing, having a good time, whether it's with his gopas, with Nanda Maharaj, with Yashoda Mai, with all the gopis, with all the animals in Vrindavan. But Krishna is never alone. He's always enjoying with his devotees. So there is a nice verse in Brahma Samhita, Chintamani Prakara Sadmasu Kalpa Vriksha Lakshavritesu Surabhir Abhipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrahma. So it says that it's glorifying the beauty and opulence of Vrindavan. It says Chintamani Prakara Sadmasu. It says all the abodes of Vaikuntha or Vrindavan, they're made of touchstones, Chintamani. There's a lot of opulences in the spiritual world, but the translation is that I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire in his abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis or gopis. So there's a lot of opulences, there's a lot of enjoyment, but there are a lot of surbis, there are a lot of cows, there's a lot of gopis, Lakshmis. So Krishna is never alone, he's always enjoying with all these devotees, all these transcendental pastimes. So one time in one lecture, actually, Prabhupada was mentioning. This is in London, in a Bhagavad Gita lecture. And this is Prabhupada speaking, and he puts a question and then he answers it himself. And so Prabhupada says that we are all part and parcel of God. So why the part and parcel are there? Why the part and parcel are there? Then Prabhupada is answering that by another question. He said, why my hand is there? Because I require it. I require the assistance of my hand. I require the assistance of my finger. It is necessary. And then Prabhupada is saying, the rascals say, why God created us? But rascal, it is necessary. In the lecture, Prabhupada is very animated in saying this. Because it is necessary. Because He is God and He wants your service. Just like a big man, he keeps so many servants. If some rascal inquires, why you are keeping so many servants? And because I am big man, I want. Simple philosophy. Similarly, if God is the supreme authority, then He must have so many assistants. Otherwise, how will He manage? Prabhupada is saying simple philosophy. Because He is God and He wants your service. That's why He is created. So, there's so many living entities, and the function, just like Prabhupada is giving the example of the hand, is that what is the function of the hand? Is to serve the body. And why do you have hand in the body? Is because the body needs the service. And so therefore, one hand should be ready to serve. So, this is why Krishna creates, because He likes to enjoy. And He likes to enjoy in the association of the devotees, through the service of His devotees. So now the question then is Krishna, because here Prabhupada starts his purport with saying that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is self-sufficient. So is Krishna self-sufficient then, if He needs so many living entities for His enjoyment? What do you think? If He's depending on other living entities for His enjoyment, is He still self-sufficient then? Yes? Yes? How? Because He's absolute. Okay. Yeah, He comes, He claims His devotees, or He claims living entities. But also in the spiritual world, He's always with the devotees. He's somewhat, here Krishna Himself is saying that He does not desire to enjoy without His devotees, even in the spiritual world. And when He comes to material world also, He brings His whole troops. So He doesn't come by Himself. Or when He comes, it's not that He has to wait until He preaches and makes some devotees and finally He has get some association. No, He has His all devotees, Govardhan, Radhakund, Shyamkund, everything comes with Him. So he has the full plan for enjoyment with His devotees. But He's still self-sufficient because He's creating all of that through His own energies, through His own potencies. And in that way, He can continue to enjoy. So we know this pastime of Brahma Vimohan Leela, where Krishna has a lot of gopas, and He's enjoying in the company, in their association. They're having a picnic, and they're having lunch, and Brahma tricks, and he steals all the cows first. And all the cows are missing. Then all the gopas are worried now that where are all the cows gone? He said, we'll be in a big problem if the cows go missing. So we need to go and we need to find out the cows. So Krishna says, it's okay. You can sit and you can enjoy your lunch. I will go and get the cows. It's okay. Leave it up to me. So Brahma is thinking, yes, the plan is working so far. So Krishna goes to the farm, the fields, and he goes looking for the cows. Now while he is gone, Brahma comes here and he puts in the illusion all the gopas and he steals them and takes them to his abode. So when Krishna comes back, he's saying, now cows are gone missing first, and now the gopas are also missing. So where did they go? So he's wondering, where did they all go? Now again, Krishna is never alone. So then what did he do? Through his mystic power, he created another set of gopas, full range, with all specific characteristics that belong to each of these devotees. Everyone was exactly how they are in the real sense. And not only gopas, he created the monkeys and whoever was there, everyone came. The whole troop, everyone came back. And now Brahma is wondering, what is Krishna doing? Let me check. So he comes from his abode to Vrindavan, and when he sees that, oh, actually everyone is here. So now am I in illusion, or the gopas are in illusion, or who is in illusion? And that's when he understands, and Krishna actually reveals his true identity, and Brahma understands and appreciates, and he offers beautiful prayers. But the point is that Krishna is self-sufficient. That even though he likes to enjoy with all his devotees, at the same time, even though all the gopas, all the devotees are taken away, he can create another set. And he can enjoy with them. So he's never dependent on anyone. But still, he depends on the devotees. This is the Achinta Veda Veda Tattva. It's a very inconceivable, simultaneous, one less different. That he's fully dependent on his devotees for his enjoyment, and at the same time is self-sufficient. So this is transcendental. This is when we can see that how all the contradictions are resolved in Krishna. So now the second half of the paragraph is where Prabhupada is emphasizing, and Prabhupada makes this very nice point actually in the purport, and this is very exclusive to the realizations that only Prabhupada has, is that not only does the Supreme Personality of Godhead enjoy the company of his devotees, but because he is unlimited, he wants to increase his devotees unlimitedly. I thought that was a really beautiful point, is that Krishna enjoys in the company of his devotees, and so therefore he wants unlimited devotees, so he can have unlimited enjoyment, because he is unlimited. Thus, Prabhupada continues, he descends to the material world to induce the non-devotees and rebellious living entities to return home, back to Godhead. He's inducing. So he's inducing all the living entities in many different ways. How does he do it? How does he induce the devotees? How does he induce the living entities? Through his pastimes. When he personally appears, yes, how else? What else is he giving to the living entities to inspire them to come back? He's giving the instructions through the scriptures, giving Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. What else? Association of devotees. Yes, definitely. Yes, what else? Prasadam. Definitely. Very powerful. Miserable conditions. Yes. So at one point we get frustrated. Yes. Okay. Increases transcendental pleasure potencies. Okay. What do you mean by that? Yes. Krishna enjoys more and more, yes, and he inspires them so they can also enjoy. Yeah. Krishna also comes as the super soul. In the heart of all the living entities, he's inspiring all of us. He also sends many different incarnations, sends many empowered devotees and living entities. We have Prabhupada, we have many different spiritual masters, we have many devotees in our association, in our company. among us, then Krishna directly sending them, direct representatives, somehow bring all these conditioned souls, bring them to me so I can enjoy with them. And so Krishna has got this whole plan, so somehow or other he can bring us back to Godhead. And when none of that works, then Krishna himself comes. And he comes, and he not only comes himself, but he also brings the whole Vrindavan with him to just attract us so that we can be inspired to go back to Godhead. We can hear all these pastimes, and we can see how Krishna is enjoying with all his devotees. And that Krishna offers that, you can be part of this enjoyment. You can be part of this great fun. If you just give up your proprietorship, if you can just somehow give up your material mindset or consciousness and actually understand that you're a servant of, if you're my servant, then everything else will be fine. Then Prabhupada continues here. He requests them to surrender unto him because, unlimited as he is, he wants to increase his devotees unlimitedly. He wants to increase his devotees unlimitedly. This Krishna consciousness movement is an attempt to increase the number of pure devotees of the Supreme Lord more and more. So I think in Bhagavad Gita, is it in the preface or is it in the introduction where Prabhupada says that the mission of Krishna consciousness is to make one pure devotee? I think the preface, yes? Yeah. And so yes, that's the idea. Is obviously we want many devotees, but also Prabhupada is not just looking for many ordinary devotees, but he wants pure devotees. Prabhupada, I was just reading one lecture yesterday, and Prabhupada said, Prabhupada said, we don't want many rascal stars. He said, we want moon. They can brighten up the whole sky. So he said, we want these pure devotees that can actually give full enjoyment to Krishna. Because, just like in the family, there can be a son or a daughter, and they are, just being there, they give pleasure to their parents. But then when they're actually well behaved, when they're obedient, and when they're actually able to cooperate with the parents, then the parents are most happy, isn't it? But when the kids are there, but then they don't really cooperate, they want to do their own thing, then okay, they'll give some pleasure to the parents, but not really much. It's not very pleasant to have kids like that. But when kids are very well behaved, then it makes everyone very happy. So similarly, the devotees, there could be many devotees, but when we have pure devotees, then that gives full enjoyment to Krishna. So that's what Prabhupada is saying here. Is that the Krishna consciousness movement is an attempt to increase the number of pure devotees more and more. So in Melbourne, we are definitely very fortunate that we have so much of outreach and preaching happening in all the different directions, whether it's the Harinams, whether it's book distribution, it's Prasadam distribution. Yesterday, we were discussing how all the Bhakti Vrikshas, and there's so many devotees just constantly coming out. Every time on Saturday and Sunday mornings, we see so many new faces that we have never seen before. And they know the full morning program, and they know all the artis, and they're singing kirtans, and they're playing instruments, and we have never even seen them. So it's like, where are they all coming from? Every week we are seeing so many people, and they're just like, so a lot of devotees are putting a lot of effort, and the number of devotees are just increasing more and more and more. So of course, all glories to the devotees who are putting the effort, and all glories to the management who are supporting and inspiring devotees in that direction, all the senior devotees who are inspiring us in that direction. So we can fulfill what Prabhupada is saying. That's the mission of the Krishna consciousness movement. So one time, this is in the 70s, when there was a big boom of book distribution. and devotees were somewhat enthusiastic, but somewhat like on a fanatic side. And one devotee, he was giving class and he was mentioning the Gurvashtakam prayers, and he was mentioning Nikunja Yuno Ratikeli Siddhyai. He's saying that the spiritual master is assisting all the gopis and in serving Radha and Krishna. And he was comparing that to book distribution. And so some of the devotees in the audience thought that was a bit of a far stretch. It's a bit unnecessary, So they went to Prabhupada and they told Prabhupada that, the devotee is comparing the service of Radha and Krishna and assisting in the service of Radha and Krishna to the book distribution. He said, isn't that a bit too much? And Prabhupada said, no, actually it's a correct point. And Prabhupada was happy. Prabhupada said, yes, he said, that's the mood. And I'm not quite sure, maybe someone who knows can correct me, but on another occasion also, Prabhupada said, and the devotee asked that, how is that the same thing? Or how the devotee is assisting the spiritual master in service to Radha and Krishna. So, how does the devotee do that? And he was expecting like some esoteric answer, like service to Radha and Krishna and Vrindavan and certain bhava and mood and all that. And Prabhupada's answer was very simple. He said, I have come here for a mission. And my mission is to preach Krishna consciousness and share this with as many number of people as possible. So you assist me in that mission, and that is Nikunja Yuno Ratikeli Siddhyai. He said, that's your service to the mood of Vrajavasis. Is that you assist me in distributing books, in sharing this Krishna consciousness with the people of the world, and that is the highest service. And so here, Prabhupada is making it very clear, the goal of Krishna consciousness movement is to increase the devotees, to increase the happiness of the Lord. So that is the goal, and it's very, very clear. So of course, it's expected from all of us. Krishna wants, and he preaches through his books, Bhagavad Gita. Krishna himself is preaching, not only to Arjuna, but through Arjuna, all the whole battlefield at that point, and 5,000 years later, he's still preaching through his book. In the same way, Prabhupada has given the purports, and he's preaching 50 years later, and he'll be preaching for next 10,000 years. Brahma preached, he gave Bhagavatam to Narad Muni gave Bhagavatam to Vyasadeva. So you can see how this parampara is going on, this book distribution is going on, this teaching of this knowledge, training is going on. And so it's a family business that's continuing. And so that's up to us, onto us, and we take that role because, when father gets old, he expects the son to take over the business so he can retire, he can relax. So same way, many senior devotees, and they've put in a lot of effort, and we can see it for decades after decades, and they have preached, and they're still preaching, and it's somewhat expected from us that we take that role and we share some of this load from their shoulder, and we continue the message and continue the business. So they probably won't relax, but they can meditate a bit more. But so yes, it's a lot of effort. Actually, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said very nice. There's a very nice quote of him is that only one who has life can preach. So it requires for all of us that if we want to preach, if we want to share this Krishna consciousness with people, then of course we need to have some life. We need to have some enthusiasm. We need to have the desire to want to share this with others. I was hearing just yesterday, the devotees were distributing books, and Mataji was in the car at the roundabout, and she and she's in the car driving at the roundabout, and there's a person next to her. I don't know if he was in the car or he was on the road, and she's shouting from the car. He said, "Do you have a Bhagavatam?" And that person actually stopped. The person, I don't know how did she park the car, and somehow she parked, and she distributed a whole Bhagavatam set, Krishna book 4 volume, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna book, basics of Bhagavad Gita, from the car. So, I mean, it's amazing, and that really shows the enthusiasm of the devotee. And so, yeah, only one who has life can preach, So sometimes we can get a little bit dead in our Krishna consciousness. We can get a little bit like relaxed and easy. But we can see that these devotees, they have life, they have enthusiasm. And with that enthusiasm, they are actually sharing Krishna consciousness. And you can see in the photo, this distributor is completely like enlivened, like in ecstasy. And this person is like also bewildered in ecstasy. Like, I'm getting this like on the middle of a road, like I didn't come here for that. So, yeah, it's ecstatic. The book distribution is especially amazing because we are reaching out to people who are not expecting it, who are not looking for it, who probably don't want it, but we still somehow or other give it to them. And Prabhupada said, "What will your 2 minutes of preaching do?" He said, give them the book and let me preach to them. So when we give these books to them, somehow or other, they happen to take the books, and in due course, sometime it takes, usually from the people who have come around to our programs on book distribution, we have seen that it takes about 2 years for them to pick up the book from the time they receive it. So about 2 years, and they pick up and they say, "Oh, this is interesting. Where can I find these people?" So, but we need to get the books out, and we need to share the holy name, we need to share prasadam, and in that way, somehow or other, we need to introduce people to Krishna consciousness more and more. That's what Prabhupada is saying. So not just, okay, I've preached for a few years, or I've preached for a few months, or it's very tiring, it's very difficult. No, Prabhupada is saying that no, this is the mission of Krishna consciousness movement. Very clear. The Krishna consciousness movement is an attempt to increase the number of pure devotees of the Supreme Lord more and more. It is certain that a devotee who helps in this endeavor to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes indirectly a controller of the Supreme Lord. That's a benediction. Now that, again, Prabhu Gopanj was mentioning yesterday, that not that devotees want to control the Lord, but that's the power of love. That Krishna becomes so obliged, Krishna becomes so satisfied with such a devotee that he almost becomes controlled by such a devotee. So, yes, it's very dear service, and somehow we should pray to Shri Prabhupada, Shri Gaur Nitai, Radha Vallabha, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, that they empower us so we can share this Krishna consciousness to others, that somehow or other we get empowered into this amazing service. So with that, we'll stop. Thank you very much for your kind attention. If there is any questions or comments or corrections.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. Prabhu, you mentioned how Krishna is the ultimate enjoyer and he should only be enjoying. So I wanted to ask, sometimes when in Krishna consciousness, when we're doing services, we start to like that service and start enjoying Krishna consciousness. So is that okay? At the same time, we hear that we should be happy in Krishna consciousness. So is there a difference between being happy and enjoying?
There is nothing wrong in enjoying the service. It's not that we have to be suffering all the time to show our surrender. That devotees can be happily engaged in Krishna consciousness. There's nothing wrong in it. But we shouldn't get so carried away in that enjoyment that we forget what is required to serve Krishna. So sometimes devotees are just so happy doing one service that if we go and tell them, Prabhu, that service is done now, it's okay, like, you can, now let's do something else. No, Prabhu, I'm happy, I'm just enjoying the service. I'm really liking it. So no, that's when it's a distraction. So you don't want to, or sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. Some services can be a little bit difficult. We know book distribution is difficult. It's not always easy to get yourself out of the house, out of your home, out of your comfort, to get out of the car. Devotees usually, before getting out on the book distribution, generally devotees eat so much, like that's like the last supper. It's like an extra hunger. But we have to do it, because that's a service that's required. So nothing wrong in happiness, but that's not our driving force. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Madhuri. You can say in the mic, yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you have mentioned that Krishna creates living entities for his enjoyment. And the other side, we say that we are in this world because of we wanted to enjoy apart from Krishna. So how do we understand these two?
So Krishna has created, as Prabhupada was explaining here, Krishna has created all the living entities. Well, it's created is not the most accurate term, but all the living entities exist for his enjoyment, to give pleasure to him, to serve him. At the same time, Krishna is never going to keep a gun on the head of all the living entities and say, now you must keep serving me all the time. So, as living entities, all of us, we have the choice. Whether we want to serve, we want to continue to serve, or we want to take a break, or we don't want to serve at all. So, sometimes living entities, us, we decided that, okay, we don't want to serve Krishna, we don't want to have him as the center of our life. And at that point is when we get conditioned. As soon as we forget, Krishna bhulya jeev, bhoga vancha kare. So as soon as we forgot Krishna, then now there is a desire for enjoyment, material enjoyment. So, pachate maya, chapati dare. As soon as one wants to enjoy, then maya immediately catches and covers him or her over. So, our function is to serve Krishna and give pleasure to Krishna. And for as long as we engage in what is natural to us, then that gives Krishna pleasure, that gives us the pleasure. And as soon as that focus is gone, as soon as we get distracted, then Krishna is not happy, and we can try to be happy, but it's a continuous struggle.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare, yes, Mother.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Actually, I wanted to ask, when you mentioned about the book distribution, that someone, we try, and it's obviously not the easiest service, and then someone may or may not accept the book, but people who are accepting, can we say that some way or another in the previous lives or something, they have done some piety, that they have received that book, even though they may not be reading it straight away, or they come in contact with the Bhagavad Gita or Shastra?
In the Bhagavatam, the verse where it says that anyone who comes to Krishna is through some pious activities in the past. And then when devotees went to clarify that to Prabhupada, Prabhupada said that, no, actually I created your piety. So, actually, or, some people might have got some experience or association of devotees in the past lives, but it's the book distributors and their enthusiasm that's creating the qualification for them to get the books. I think that was Gopal Krishna Maharaj, who was, or can't remember. One of the, what they did in 70s is they were trying to invent different ways for distributing books, and they thought that, okay, if we leave it in the shops, like all these bookshops, there's so many bookshops around, and so we can leave books there, because so many books are going, so many people are taking Bhagavad Gitas, and that time like books were going in millions. So devotees thought, okay, we'll put it in the shops, and so many books will go from the shops, and when they actually tried to take an account of how many books actually went out from the shops, it was actually not many. It's hardly any actually. So then they went to Prabhupada and they told that so many people are taking books on the street, but from the shop nobody's taking the books. And Prabhupada said, yes, they're taking because of the enthusiasm of my distributors. So it's actually the enthusiasm of devotees that's creating qualification for them to receive these books. Yeah, like when we're distributing, we come up with some amazing ways. We do it, and then we wonder, how did I come up with something like that? Or we see devotees distributing books, and we think, like, how can you come up with something like that? It's just so out of the blue. But the people take the books is because they see that here is a person who is just very out of this world. So many times, so many of us, we got told when the people take books from us, they tell us that, I don't want this book, I don't like this book, I don't like what you're doing, I have got nothing to do with it, but I'm still going to take your book and I'm still going to give you money because you look like an amazing person. Or you look like you're actually a happy person. So, like, you can tell that these people have no qualification. They're only taking it because they're somewhat inspired by our presence there.
Yes, Prabhu. I think I just saw one Mataji just a while back that they were not accepting, or they were not very interested, and then through the child they got the book. The child was interested, and then he forced them. He was asking the parents.
Yeah, yena kena prakarena. Somehow or other, we have to give. Whatever works. As long as the book can go from our hand to their hand, all good. Without not, we have to, Prabhupada said, we have to learn the art of distributing in a way that we don't upset them, without disturbing them. So we have to learn the art of distributing without disturbing them. Then the sky is the limit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, this is Pitambara.
Hare.
As you were telling, that lady gave so many books, so how that man carried them to his house? So many books, how did he carry?
He was struggling.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you very much. Granth Raj, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.